Yo, what's good, my wolf pack? Alpha of the pack right here. And today in this video, man, I'm gonna be talking about this whole George Floyd incident, right? Or rather, why people don't really like the police, or why people are afraid of the police. It's because, and this doesn't go for all police officers, right? Some police officers, certain police officers. It's because certain police officers just love to abuse their power. They believe they can do whatever they want, get away with whatever, with no consequences. And this George Floyd situation is the perfect example of that, right? Now, I'm gonna say this. I have not been following the situation in its entirety. I know there have been protests in the name of George Floyd. I know that his family was on the news. I know that the lady who filmed his death was on the news, right? But other than that, I haven't really been following it to the fullest extent because there's been a lot of negative stuff going on, all right? And I've been because seeing so much negative stuff is honestly depressing, and it just puts me in overall bad news. So I'm trying to stay away from all of that negativity, right? And so I only know a little bit about a little bit, but basically, what I'm gonna get into is those police officers, those poor police officers that arrested George and murdered him. Those niggas are the reason why people don't like the police. People are afraid of the police because when one of those niggas, I don't even know their name, right? I'm gonna just call them niggas. When one of those niggas, when the main nigga had George pinned on the ground with his knee on his neck, and George was just screaming at him that he couldn't breathe, that he was hurting him, that he needed to get off of his neck. He wasn't listening. He was not listening to this man's pleas in the slightest. And the whole time, while that whole situation's going on, you had the people who had gathered around in the crowd watching the situation go down, constantly telling the officer to get off of that man's neck because he couldn't breathe. He was dying in front of everybody, and he had people telling him to get off that man's neck for the longest time. It was a 9-minute video. They was telling that man to get off of him, to get off George for the longest time, and he wasn't listening. He was just sitting there, chilling on the dude's neck until the dude lost consciousness, until George lost consciousness. And even when he did, he stayed on his neck. For what? Why? It was completely unnecessary for him to be kneeling on George's neck like that anyway. And apparently, they thought George had something to do with he has something to do in lines with forgery or whatever. Like I said, I haven't been following this whole situation to the fullest extent. I doubt that's true. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas like to lie. So I doubt he really had anything to do with forgery. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to look into that. But even if that was the case, the way the police handled the situation was completely unnecessary. Why do you need to hold a man down, pin him down by his neck, and stay there, continuously applying pressure up until the point where he loses consciousness, and even then, still staying on top of that man? Why is that necessary? It's not. I don't care what you gotta say. I don't care for the people cause I know people are defending these police officers. I don't care what y'all gotta say. Oh, they were just doing their job. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. I might not know what it means to be a police officer, but I know you don't do that. Is that protecting and serving? Is that upholding the law? I don't think so. Come on, bro. That was like the most. Oh my god, bro. That was one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. That man just literally begging for y'all to get off of him. Literally begging that man to get off of him. And he just sat there the whole time. that's what I'm talking about, man. People wonder why people always say, "Oh, F the police" and all that. People wonder why people don't got respect for police. Let me say this: I don't hate the police. All right, I've said this before. I got a healthy respect for police. I don't think all police officers are bad. I really don't. Believe me when I say that. Please do. I don't think all police officers are bad. Of course I don't. I've met so many cool, nice police officers. When I went to driver's ed class, when I was in a driver's ed school program, it was run by police officers, and they were some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I best believe I don't think all police officers are bad, right? But you mainly hear about the bad ones. You mainly hear about the police officers that go around assaulting people, abusing their power, just doing what they want. Those are the type of police officers you hear about, and that gives police in general a bad image. You feel me? And it's like it seems that it don't matter what kind of person you are, you can just go and be a police officer. That's what it seems like, and that's why people hate the police. That's why people are afraid of them. That's why some people don't necessarily trust the police. That's the reason. You hear about it all the time. Police assaulting people. People acting racist towards someone for well, there's no reason to act racist, but you hear it all the time. People acting discriminatory. Police assaulting people. You hear about it all the time, man. And it's unfortunate. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? But I heard that 4 police officers, that were involved with the situation with George, they were fired, which is good, because in most cases those niggas don't even. In most situations like that, the police officers don't even get fired. They be under evaluation, or they're being looked into. You don't even hear about them being fired. You know what I'm saying? So it's good, but personally, I believe that those niggas need to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? They killed a man, basically. Apparently, he died in a hospital or on the way to the hospital, but they murdered a man in front of people. There was no reason to hold that man down by his neck like that while he's continuously yelling at you, telling you that he cannot breathe, that you're hurting him. The man was like, what, 46 years old. There was absolutely no reason to do him like that. I don't care what you gotta say. It's not like the man wasn't even doing nothing. They said they pulled that man out of his car. The man wasn't even doing nothing. It's not like they said he was resisting arrest. He wasn't even fighting the police officers back. I've seen videos from different angles. He wasn't even fighting the police officers back. He wasn't cussing at him, nothing. He wasn't touching them or nothing. He was complying. But they still held that man down and choked him out. Suffocated him. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Those niggas do need to be in jail, But that's really all I gotta say, man. I don't mean for this video to go on too long. You feel me? But let me say this, dog. And I'm not trying to turn this into a whole race thing, you know what I'm saying? But police do abuse their power, but I feel like black people, more than anyone else, they get treated worse by the police. You feel me? Now, I've been stopped by the police a few times. Luckily, I've never had any bad encounters with them. Like, they never got violent towards me or anything like that. Luckily. But I can't help, man. Every time I see the police, every time a cop does pull me over for whatever reason, I can't help but think, like, is this dude gonna try to? Is this shit gonna try to shoot me? Are they gonna try to like tase me, beat me up, do whatever? You know what I'm saying? Falsely accuse me of something? I can't help but think like that because that's what the police are. At the very least, that's what some police officers are known to do. You feel me? So I can't help but think like that. But look, man, that's all I gotta say, man. Peace on my wolf back. Your alpha has spoken. You know, very unfortunate situation of what happened to George, man. Peace.